All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house. And today I have the Leatherman Skeletool KB here with me. Little guy. As usual, we're gonna analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this one. But first of all, let's just do a quick size comparison. Here is up against the Leatherman Free T4, and this is up against the James brand, the County, and other couple options. Look at this. This is a beauty. This is the Cock Tools Wasp. So little guy over here, and some couple popular, more popular options. Here you have it up against the Spyderco Paramilitary 3 and the Benchmade 940-1. So as you can see, pretty little guy over here. Let's see the look first, because this is a pretty small pocket knife. It's the perfect EDC size because of the weight, the size, and pretty simple function is gonna be having. This is like a 3.45 inches closed, or like 8.7 centimeters when closed. So very, very small, super pocketable, and it has a cool design. I mean, I'm not a fan of handles with holes, but I think this is all right. I mean, for the price, why not? It's not super cheap. It's gonna be like around $25-30. Now there's a discount going on, so you can also check the description to find out more. And yeah, you have these like 4 holes on the handle, and another 4 holes on the blade, and another like 3 right here in the back. It's mostly like done to reduce weight, and also like for an aesthetic purpose, which I'm not a fan. I prefer like handle like with no holes. This is just me. This is like the black version, so that's why KB, and it's the handles are made out of hardened aluminum. It's T6 aluminum, and it has like a DLC coat on it, so it's nice. There's when you open this one, you gotta see like a finger groove, because you need a little bit of traction, because the handle is going to be so tiny. And also, like you see, there's some chamfering going on. So it's rounded off this area here, but look at this. This is not. So there's no chamfering on the outside, nothing on the inside. Same on this side over here, but look at this. On this side, there's some rounding off going on. Here you have a pretty serious hot spot, which is going to dig into your hand if you squeeze too much, but you're gonna be careful, of course, because you're gonna know it. This is a liner lock. In fact, you see this liner here, it's not part of the frame. This is like screwed in with these 2 screws right over here, and it's has a nice huge lock release, which is like all this chunk, so your thumb is gonna be easily accessing the lock release over here. There's of course no lock face insert, but there is a lock bar stabilizer, which is done through the pivot, because you see like the lock over here cannot be overextended because of the presence of the pivot right there. So that's a pretty neat solution that Leatherman is employing in for example, also their multi-tools. The screw size is T8, so it's going to be pretty straightforward to disassemble, maintain, clean up, and lube up. So there you go, right over here. The hardware is not protruding if we consider this guy, but if we consider the whole head, yeah, it's protruding this much. So this is nice, I think. The pocket clip, it's, I would say, almost deep carry. I mean, not full deep carry, because it just gonna get up to here, not like fully. It's not gonna have your Leatherman fully disappear in your pocket, but yeah, it's kind of deep. And of course, as you can see, it has a bottle opener built in. They even engraved like a logo. If you don't know what this hook is gonna be 4. So, you know, they're just reminding you that, hey, you can open a cold one with this little guy. So it's interesting. The pocket clip, it's has one position only, and which is tip down, so I don't know about that. It's not reversible, it's not ambidextrous, there's no lanyard hole, and the blade centering, I would say, yeah, it's kind of centered. It's pretty tight over here, but it's centered. The blade is like a 2.6 inch blade, so 6.6 centimeters, so pretty tiny, but the blade handle ratio, it's pretty good. In fact, you see that there's just this little chunk out, like not used, but overall the balance of the blade is quite good. The steel is the same old 420 HC steel that Leatherman is using in also like their multi-tools. They're using some fancier steels, but in higher end models. So HC is just a high carbon steel. It's going to be easy to sharpen, easy to maintain. So it's pretty much good to go for a you know, an inexpensive knife like this one. This is kind of like a ship's foot point with the like pretty big belly up to here, so almost like 60%, and then just a little bit of flat right over here. And you know, here you have your sharpening choil, which is gonna you know, end over here, and the plunge grind has a nice angle to reveal the beautiful ricasso, which I actually like. You know, the blade is gonna have a two-tone finish, so it's satin on the hollow grind, and it's a little bit of like mirror washed polish for the flats. You have, you know, a little bit of chamfering going on here, so it's not sharp. There's, I think, some chamfering missing. I mean, it's a little bit chamfered for the thumb hole, because this hole is going to be, you know, the one you're going to use to actually deploy the blade. But I would have appreciated a little bit more rounding off of this area over here. This is, of course, like a machined blade, so the edge symmetry, the grind symmetry are pretty much spot on. There's no jimping on the top. There's a little bit of thumb ramp right over here with no swedge and no fuller, just like these holes, which I'm not sure about the function, maybe just to reduce weight, but yeah, there's 4 of these, just a little bit like, I don't know, obtrusive, I think. That's just my opinion. There's no billboarding going on the blade, which is a good thing, but it's right over here on the handle, so I mean, not a huge deal, but I'm not a fan of writings on a blade. There's no, like, this is like the ball, the detent ball, basically, which is like a hole punched into the liner, so there's not really an actual ball, but as you can see, it's pretty functional. It almost serves because there's no detent ball ramp, but due to the nature of this ball, you know, you don't have a hard stop when you close the blade, so it just naturally is gonna slide over and just fall in the closed position. So that's a neat thing. The handles, you know, we can consider them like to be skeletonized because they have holes. So, you know, the weight is going to be pretty contained. The sound when you open this guy is this one. So it's not loud, it's not resounding, not percussive. It's a nice and soft clank. I appreciate this one. I was surprised, actually. I wasn't like hoping for anything nice, but it's actually pretty nice. It's giving you like a solid feel, you see? And also when you close this blade, it's gonna be pretty much inaudible, like this, just a micro, extremely mellow and soft click. The weight is extremely low, like this is like 1.3 ounces or like 37 grams. And when you handle the knife, you're gonna feel there's just a little bit of a hot spot right over here, because if you're like this, all right, but if you squeeze it, this tip is gonna dig in into this inside into the side of your finger, so not ideal. Also, you have no jimping, so the grip is gonna be not optimal because this is a small tool, so you're not gonna perform any heavy duty task anyways with this guy. You can choke up a little bit like that. I mean, because it's so tiny, your thumb can just almost reach the tip of the blade. I wouldn't do like any reverse grip because no, but at the end of the day, you know, it feels quite solid for what it is. I mean, this is a pretty, like, a 37 gram, like 1 ounce, a little bit over an ounce blade, so you know, you can't pretend too much from this guy. Texture is okay, it's a little bit slippery, like sleek, so yeah, you know, the fit and finish also is gonna be all right. Like, I see these like wavy, I don't know what is going on here, but why there's these waves right there, but overall it's okay. I mean, you can see here, see, this can bend a little bit. There's no blade play, by the way, so this feels pretty sturdy. The clip is okay. I mean, there's not much of a clip ramp, just a little bit. I've seen worse, but it has a nice spring tension, so it's gonna be retaining the knife close to your pocket, so that's good. Deployment speed is gonna be pretty slow because, you know, it's not a flipper. There's just, you know, you just have to open like this, one hand or two hands, and use your thumb hole over here, so it's gonna be pretty slow. As I said, you know, I would have preferred a little bit of more chamfering over here to reduce finger sore, but it's all right. I mean, not a biggie. Detent strength is on the soft side, and you know, the blade just sits pretty safely down, so you're not gonna have you know, any risk of cutting yourself while trying to touch the you know, the knife while in the pocket. If you shake it, there's no rattling going on, and the lock, when you release the lock, it's quite soft. I mean, it's springy. It has some spring tension over here, but it's overall soft. There's no lock stick whatsoever, and it's aluminum on steel, so you're good to go. And yeah, I mean, the action is kind of slow. There's no free falling here, no guillotine effect, detent suction. It's non-existent, but overall this is a pretty neat little knife that I can suggest. You know, if you're going out camping, if you're not doing anything crazy, just want to cut something small and nothing like heavy duty, yeah, I can recommend this guy. It's pretty nice. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.